Thank my colleague, Mr. Schuster, the chairman and the subcommittee chair and ranking member. This is a recognition of the extraordinary importance of federal investment in the infrastructure of the United States of America to engage in both domestic and international commerce. Sometimes that seems to be lacking around here. We seem to lump everything the federal government does into one big pot, and if you got something you don't like, it just kind of all gets associated together. This is a program that will be paid for out of the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund. Yes, there is a trust fund, sorta, kinda. It's got $7 billion of theoretical balance in it. Unfortunately, our friends on the Appropriations Committee have seen fit to spend that $7 billion on other things because it's not a real trust fund. This legislation will begin to move us back toward utilizing those dedicated tax dollars in a dedicated way to maintaining the port and maritime infrastructure of the United States of America. I mean, here we are today. The Corps of Engineers has stopped dredging all small ports. Tell you what, that's kind of a disaster in my state, and it's a disaster all around the country. I have one port where they have to take the boats out of the water, onto a dock, and they're having trouble even now getting into that port at high tide to get the boats up onto the dock. I have other channel entrances that are shoaling in, becoming dangerous. We're going to lose lives because the Corps doesn't have the money to do the work. We have jetties that are failing. If we fix them now, $10, $15 million. If they go totally to failure, $50 million. Now, what sense does it make? But we're in the United States of America. We can't afford to do the $10 to $15 million now. We have dams and locks that are failing. We're going to wait till they fail, or are we going to do the repairs now? This bill begins to move us in the direction of doing the repairs that are needed to better move commerce, people, and goods in this country. It's long overdue. And the bill has a 10% set aside, which will be dedicated to the small ports, which is absolutely...
Gentleman's time has expired.
I yield to the gentleman one additional minute.
Gentleman is recognized for additional minutes.
Thanks. This year I had to get my state to partner with the federal government so the federal government would bring the Corps dredges with the Corps crews down to dredge my small ports, paid for by the state of Oregon. My state doesn't have a lot of money, but we partnered and we did that. There are innovative solutions that will work too, but long term we need the full investment. We need the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund dollars to be spent on needed harbor maintenance. As I mentioned earlier, I have a jetty at Coos Bay that's failing. We could fix it now for less or a lot more later. We have the jetty on the Columbia River that's failing. We can fix it now for less or a lot more later. That's repeated all around the country, and I'm glad to see here today the work of bipartisan work here and the agreement on the critical infrastructure role that only the federal government can play, using funds raised federally on imports and into the United States of America. A tariff that's placed on those that is dedicated to these functions. It's a paid-for program. We need it now. I congratulate you.
The gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I inquire as to how much time we have remaining?
Has 2.5 minutes remaining.
I would like to yield 30 seconds to the Distinguished Policy Committee Chairman, Mr. Langford from Oklahoma.
The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized for 30 seconds.
I just want to be able to bring my support for this bill, but also